overall thoughts on the weekend?
Yeah, I really liked how these guys came out and how hard they played, and I just thought they had a really good weekend. I think Palm Springs is tough. You can go in thinking one way and come out totally different. So I just love how they competed. I thought their ability to get past Fullerton and get right into Northwestern, I thought that really set the tone, I think, for the whole weekend.
How important is it to have sustained success against three consecutive ranked teams?
I think it's really important. I mean, that's why we have our schedule, because we need to play ranked teams and we need to show that we can beat ranked teams, and to be able to just go back to back to back like that with them and then get the success that we wanted. I think it gives us good confidence and really allows us to go in to Fullerton, feeling pretty good about ourselves.
Talk about the clutch aspect of this team, whether there were two top of the seventh go-ahead hits and then the back-to-back home runs in the sixth against Missouri to get the lead. Can you talk about the clutch aspect?
Yeah, I think, I feel like these guys have always been clutch. Last year we scored a lot with 2 outs. I think anytime they feel like their backs are against the wall a little bit, I don't think they ever panic with it. They just know that they're going to come through.
You went with Carissa a lot in that DP spot. She came in big against UC San Diego. What have you seen from her in that spot in the lineup and then in that game in particular?
I like how she's been swinging the bat. I thought she's been aggressive at the plate. I think with her being a lefty, gives her advantage as well, for the pitch that she's wanting to hit. So I like that we can call upon her to come off the bench and get a clutch base hit to score a run, to call Val off the bench to swing and hit a bomb. She's been sitting all game. So I think it just shows that even if they are not physically on the field, that they are waiting for their opportunity and they're preparing themselves for that at bat.
How important is it this year to have that balance in the lineup where now it's most of the time 4 lefties starting, where last year it was just 1?
Yeah, I think anytime you can sprinkle your lineup with lefties and righties, it just goes a long way. It really allows us to do more with different matchups. So,
do you think the team perhaps was overlooking Cal State Fullerton a little bit going into, not necessarily overlooking, but that they may have been, looking at the bigger ranked teams, and that may have been got a little bit behind to start with?
I honestly don't. I think this team has been really good about. I think they've been really good about one game at a time. I think we just got a little, in every one of these games, you've got to be clean on what you do, what you're doing with offense, defense, pitching. I thought Morgan pitched really, really well against Fullerton. I thought we played well. We needed to learn how to strike earlier against that pitcher. And then I just think late in the game, we fell apart a little bit. Just were not our usual selves. And the game got away from us. That's the thing. You can be and then all of a sudden the game can slip by. So.
And looking at, you were kind of talking about, little things getting away. I don't have the exact number, but it seems like in almost a preponderance of the instances, the errors or the runners that are led on base have turned into runs, and those, most of the runs are coming from self-inflicted incidents. Is that something you guys talk about as a team, that you guys are really in control of what's happening, or is that just kind of the ebbs and flows of the game?
Yeah, I think that's not like us. Like, if you look at that game, that's not like us. I think we've got one of the best defenses in the country. So it's just a game that wasn't typical of us. And so what I loved is the bounce back defensively. And you just got to see the amazing catches that we had all weekend, the double play ball at second against Northwestern, which I've never seen that before. So I think sometimes you're going to have it. There's going to be times where maybe something doesn't go our way and you've got the 3 cylinders. Can to the other 2 cylinders take care of it if one is struggling a little bit.
For Stevie, against a high-quality team like that, to only give up 1 hit in a complete game shutout, what does that do for her confidence or for her moving forward this year?
Yeah, I think it gives her great confidence. She knows that she's good. I think all of our pitchers know, our players know that they are good. But then when you get to match up against another opponent that's very good, and we're able to have success and do what we need to do, I think it allows them to take Palm Springs and take it into Fullerton, and then take Fullerton and head into the pack. So,
what was working for her from an execution standpoint in that game?
think Stevie's movement looks really, really good right now. Her command is what I've been really impressed with. Is just her ability to throw strikes and constantly working ahead in the count.
From a record standpoint, you guys are sort of in the same place that you were at this point last season, but obviously it's a much different team. Where do you see that difference in last year's team compared to where you guys are right now?
What I like about this year's group is that I think they really understand and know exactly what they want. Like their vision is really clear, and they understand that in order to get where they need to go, they've got to move faster. They've got to have a faster start to the season and understand that we have opportunity to beat a ranked opponent. We need to be able to do that. So I just think with their experience this year, being older, wiser, and just almost kind of having that formula of this is what it's going to take for us to have success this year and how quickly can we get after it.
You might have touched on it just a little moment ago, but where are you seeing the biggest growth in Stevie's game from year 1 to year 2?
I just think anytime you can have the experience, we threw her into the fire last year. She gained all the experience and got to see what she's doing and what maybe she needs to improve on. So taking that experience, improving on some things, and then like I said, I've been very impressed with her command and her ability to move the ball.
The team, in general, getaway games are kind of an anomaly anyway, but the team seemed, or at least the leadoff, the top of the order, seemed a little tight in this game. Do you think that was just the residual from being so good the first 4 games that maybe they were pressing a little bit? Because it was, I can't remember the exact pitch count, but it was almost 1 pitch, 1 swing in the top of the order for the first 3 appearances. And then the back end of the order, lots of pitches. Taya got several, Carissa took a really long count. And they seemed to do better when they did that. Is that just kind of, again, one of those things, or?
I don't know. I really don't have an answer on that one. I wish I do. I don't know. I don't know. I think that's just, again, what I would say is that whether we're on Sunday or whether we're in the beginning of the weekend, the biggest thing that we can do is make a quick in-game adjustment. And I just think on Sunday, it took us longer to make our in-game adjustment, where earlier in the weekend, we moved faster with it. That would be my takeaway on Sunday. But what I love is that they found a way to win. And sometimes when you're not at your very best and you still find a way to win, that says something. So, okay, I was planning for us to try to get a window to go outside right now. And it's snowing. I was trying to get a small window to get out on the field. So I guess that's not going to happen. Okay. All right. It's okay.
So 7 home runs this weekend. Most of them came in really 2 games. What's it like to have an offense that just can, with one swing of the bat, kind of change the game at any given time?
It's great. To be able to change the game with one swing, I don't think anybody would say, oh, no, we don't need that. We definitely need that. But I think it's for us as a team understanding that we have multiple ways to win. If it's one swing, if it's situational hitting, if it's small ball, if it's, whatever, that we need to have more than one way to win ball games. So it was nice to see us win with the long ball. It was also nice to see us win with our base running and moving runners over and then driving them in. I think for us to be able to do what we want to do this year, we've got to be able to win all different types of ways and not just one.
Do you feel like this weekend, to an extent, was somewhat of a microcosm of that, because you have the tight, low-scoring wins against Northwestern and UCSD, then a blowout win against Florida, and then an offensive tight win against Missouri? Do you feel like that sort of goes into it?
Yeah, I just think there's so much parity right now in softball that anybody can beat anybody, and I think maybe back in the day you can kind of predict scores against certain opponents, and I just don't think that's the case anymore. We could be 2-1 against this one team. You would think maybe certain things would be flipped, and I just don't think it's the case anymore. I just think the parity and the athletes. Every program has great athletes, has really good pitching.
With one more weekend before conference play, what are the things that you're still looking to sort of tune up and address this weekend down in Southern California?
I think for us to continue to be clean, can we strike early at the plate, to be really, really good on defense. And I think, too, just to be disciplined. I think there was times this weekend where we weren't as disciplined as we needed to be. So And then just to continue to enhance who we are. Like, I think you would look at us and see that we can pitch, we have good defense, we can hit, but if we're doing things right as the year is going on, what we're doing, we are enhancing our abilities in all three areas.